What happened to the lost colony of Roanoke? This question has echoed through the corridors of American history for more than 4 centuries, a haunting and persistent mystery that refuses to yield its secrets. It is a story that begins with hope and ambition, but ends in an unnerving silence. In the year 1587, a brave company of over 100 Englishmen, Englishwomen, and children made a perilous journey across the vast Atlantic Ocean. They sought to establish a permanent foothold for England in the New World, a place they could call home on a remote island off the coast of what we now know as North Carolina. Their dream was to build a thriving community, a beacon of English presence. When a relief mission finally returned to the island, they found nothing. The settlement was gone. The carefully constructed houses had been dismantled, not burned or destroyed in a violent raid. There were no bodies, no skeletons, no signs of a desperate struggle or a final bloody battle. It was as if the entire population had simply risen from the earth and vanished into the thin, salt-laced air. The only tangible clue left behind was a single enigmatic word carved deep into the wood of a fortress post: Croatoan. What did this cryptic message signify? Was it a destination? Was it a warning? Or something else entirely? The colonists had disappeared, leaving behind a void filled with speculation, theory, and an enduring sense of wonder. The story of the lost colony is more than a historical puzzle. It is a profoundly human drama. It involves real people with names, families, and aspirations. Governor John White, the artist and leader, forced to leave his daughter and granddaughter behind. Eleanor Dare, his daughter, who gave birth to the first English child born in the Americas, Virginia Dare. These were pioneers who faced unimaginable hardships with courage and resolve. The decision to establish a colony on Roanoke Island was not a spontaneous act, but the culmination of a grand and ambitious vision in Queen Elizabeth's court. In the late 16th century, England was an ascending power eager to challenge Spain. Spain had amassed incredible wealth and a sprawling empire in the Americas, and England watched with envy and apprehension. Sir Walter Raleigh, charismatic courtier explorer, championed an English settlement in North America. He argued it would serve multiple strategic purposes, securing a vital piece of the New World for the English crown, and paving the way for expansion and prosperity. A primary goal was a privateering base to launch raids on Spanish treasure fleets laden with gold and silver. This would enrich England, disrupt the Spanish economy, and weaken its military might. The famous lost colony of 1587 was not England's first attempt to settle on Roanoke Island. The groundwork for that fateful endeavor was laid by 2 earlier expeditions. Both were fraught with difficulty and ultimately ended in failure. The first voyage, a reconnaissance mission, set out in 1584. Philip Amadas, Arthur Barlow. Their task was to explore the coast and identify a suitable location for a future colony. They made contact with local Algonquian-speaking peoples, Croatoan. They returned with glowing reports and brought Manteo and Wanchese to London, helping Raleigh secure support. From the start, the venture was plagued by misfortune. One of their primary ships, the Tiger, ran aground on arrival. Much food and gunpowder were ruined. The colonists became heavily reliant on local native tribes for sustenance. Relations were initially cordial. Manteo helped mediate. But English demands, arrogance, and disease created tension, and Lane's military mindset made things worse. Violence culminated in an attack. The local chief, Wingina, was killed, destroying remaining goodwill. By spring 1586, the colonists were starving. Then Drake appeared. The beleaguered men abandoned Roanoke. A relief ship arrived to find it deserted and left 15 men with supplies. When colonists returned in 1587, they found no trace of the 15, only one skeleton. Learning from failure, Raleigh and White planned a true community in 1587. Approximately 115 people, including families, set out, 90 men, 17 women, and 9 children. Not just soldiers, farmers, artisans, and laborers intent on putting down roots. Women and children signaled permanence, a city of Raleigh in a new land. Eleanor Dare gave birth on August 18, 1587. Virginia Dare, the first English child in the Americas. Life for the 115 settlers would have been a relentless cycle of hard labor, uncertainty, and adaptation. Their first priority was shelter, repairing cottages and fortifications with axes, saws, and adzes. They cleared land and reinforced the palisade under the humid North Carolina sun. Women prepared food, mended clothes, tended the sick, and cared for children. Cooking over open fires, their diet was monotonous and often meager. They planted English crops like wheat and peas. Many failed in sandy soils and unfamiliar climate. They learned to cultivate corn, beans, and squash, likely with instruction from the friendly Croatoan. Foraging supplemented every meal. Men hunted and fished the sounds. Fish, crabs, oysters. Yet English techniques faltered and ambush risk loomed. Trade in metal tools, copper ornaments, and cloth was a fragile lifeline, subject to mistrust. Every interaction could sour. Misunderstanding was a constant threat. On Sundays, they likely gathered for Protestant services. Comfort in an alien world. But a persistent vulnerability hung over everything. A tiny English island in a vast sea of native cultures. Supplies finite, knowledge limited, future uncertain. Every sunset brought fear of what the night might hold. As the summer of 1587 drew to a close, the colonists faced a grim reality. Food dwindled and winter threatened starvation. They had arrived too late to grow enough. After debate, they agreed. Someone must return to England for provisions, tools, and more people. They insisted only Governor John White could plead their case. He was deeply reluctant. His daughter Eleanor and newborn granddaughter Virginia were there. He wrote they threatened to brand him a coward if he refused. With a heavy heart, he agreed, securing promises to care for his family. They set a plan. Carve the new location on a tree or post. Add a Maltese cross if they left in distress. White promised to return quickly, but England braced for the Spanish Armada. A general stay kept ships in port. Every able vessel was pressed into national defense. His pleas fell on deaf ears. In spring 1588, he secured 2 pinnaces. Their captains chased piracy instead. They fought, lost cargo, limped home. The Armada's great battle delayed him further. Only in 1590 did White secure passage, aboard a privateering vessel. As the coast rose on the horizon, hope and dread filled his heart. On August 18, 1590, Virginia Dare's 3rd birthday, John White stepped ashore. They saw firelight, sounded a trumpet, and waited. Only silence replied. They reached the place of 115 souls. The settlement was gone, not destroyed in a blaze. It had been carefully taken down. A strong palisade enclosed the area. No human remains, no struggle, no graves, only weeds reclaiming the ground. They found bars of iron overgrown with grass. Then the first agreed sign, carved letters on a tree, C-R-O. Hope jolted through White. At the fort's entrance, the full word, C-R-O-A-T-O-A-N. It named a nearby island, modern Hatteras, home of Monteo's friendly tribe. Crucially, there was no Maltese cross. White felt relief. He planned to sail there at once, but fate intervened. A hurricane snapped an anchor. They nearly ran aground. The captain refused the treacherous shoals and turned for the Caribbean, then England. The disappearance of the colonists has spawned many theories. The most prominent, they moved to Croatoan Island. Governor White believed this. Facing starvation and isolation, they may have sought refuge and gradually assimilated. John Lawson later noted Hatteras natives with gray eyes and claims of ancestors who could speak in a book. Another theory, the colonists split, some to Croatoan, others inland toward their original Chesapeake goal. Jamestown heard stories. Some assimilated. A darker version has Chief Powhatan claiming he ordered their slaughter. English sherds found far inland lend some credence. The Spanish, who searched for the colony, might have struck swiftly, or hostile tribes returned to finish the garrison's fate. But careful dismantling and no bodies argue against a surprise attack. Tree rings record severe drought. Famine and disease could have scattered and thinned them. Some suggest a desperate sail home ended at sea. Yet the deliberate dismantling and the clear, hopeful Croatoan point to planned relocation. The truth may be a blend: migration, division, assimilation, and conflict. The story of the lost colony is a tapestry woven with ambition, hardship, and profound mystery. It began with hope, Virginia Dare's birth, and ended with White's heartbreaking discovery of silence. Croatoan. A clue that deepens the enigma. No theory reconciles it all. Orderly dismantling, no battle signs, and a hopeful message. Beyond puzzle pieces, this is a human story. Eleanor Dare and her daughter Virginia, lives left unwritten. The quest continues. Archaeologists dig. DNA and ground-penetrating radar re-examine old ground. We listen more closely to the echoes rather than accept the silence of the past. Remember the 115 who vanished overnight. If you want to join the hunt, study John White's drawings, trace the old maps, and learn the settlers' names. What do you think happened at Roanoke? Assimilation, attack, or something we haven't uncovered yet? Drop your theory in the comments, and if this mystery pulled you in, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more deep dives.